ledger ignite. Phantom in flight. Mag so bright. Can't see me, but feel my mind. No face crypto, phantom protocol. Standing tall while empires fall. Central chains can't cage it all. Unshaken faith, I break the wall.
I'm like, yo, you're a clout chaser. I called him a clout chaser. He got all butthurt and he's like, I took down your whole community. Now I want your KOL. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he took us down. That's why everybody's buying more.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, the scam coin got the scam coin got integrated on the federal rails. Right. What an asshole, dude! Keep firing assholes.
I gotta thank that dude for dumping.
I was like, Jesus Christ, this fucking guy again. I was like,
he's relentless.
You're a clout chaser. All right, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so all I was saying is that they're a big deal, man. So like, whoever thinks this is a scam fucking coin or a scam project, go kick rocks and go do your DYOR, man, because this shit is definitely not that.
What's going on, guys? I'm to the No Face Crypto channel. Where's the face no case? You feel me? As you saw in the last clip, I guess it's time to do our own research, right? So let's discuss a list of facts surrounding Zebec. While their community freaks out and I live rent-free in their head, it is time for us to discuss what's really going on with ZBC and Zebec. For starters, if you've been wondering what I have been doing over the last 2-3 days, I've been going band for band, brick by brick, person by person, bot by bot, and absolutely destroying the ZBCN community with facts. This is not opinion, these are facts. And you'll notice a theme throughout this entire video, how the Zebec community doesn't like to discuss facts. Odd, isn't it? Right. So basically what happened here is I went to a KOL's Twitter, Crypto Star Rail, who we're not even going to discuss him because he's not important, but this guy is a complete KOL for Zebec, 100%. This is an organized KOL for Zebec. Now, I said here, yo, I think Zebec is a scam. Let's do a prove me wrong spaces and show the community who has the info to back what they're saying. All right. He goes, yes, you think, keep your thoughts to yourself. And I went kind of down the list. And so basically goes, this random KOL goes, Circle Alliance, Zebec is on their website. They were at Zebos to Swift event. You don't turn up, you get invited. They have SOC audit and MiCA compliance. I want to, just one quick fact. Zebec is not MiCA compliant as of right now. That is a fact. So you have a KOL lying. That's one. Two, I said, so answer this one question for me. Does Circle, Zebos, SOC 2, or MiCA prevent fraud? The answer is no. And they are not ISO compliant and they are not MiCA compliant, which we will get into later in the video. As of today, their community is actively lying about being ISO compliant. The people who are promoting this project don't even know what ISO compliant means. They don't even know that their project isn't even ISO compliant. It's crazy. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and list some of the facts here. I've been going to war, so I can't go through all these conversations, but I highly, highly suggest all of you go ahead before this video starts, click the link in the description below, drop a comment and drop a like while you're there. Click the link in the description below with my X account and go to the replies section. You can scroll down for a long time and see all the smoke I have given Zebec. All right? It's not even funny. I mean, it goes deep, guys. It goes deep. I am living in these people's heads rent-free. They are talking about me in spaces when I'm not even there. Why? What do I know that's so damning to the project where all of your KOLs have to discuss what's going on with me? Funny. Let's discuss some facts, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the video. Fact 1. I've discussed very little bits of my evidence with the Zebec community who are perpetuating a scam. And I discussed this in a spaces that I joined that is deleted because I fried them up that bad. So what we are going to be discussing is what was discussed in that spaces Their responses to absolutely nothing because they had nothing to say because all my shit is facts. And just questioned, if it's a legit community and you want people to learn about the project, why not keep the spaces up? Or are you scared with what was in the spaces, with what was revealed? Right. So let's discuss the facts. Fact 1 is they delete spaces and they are not open to conversation about their project being a scam. And they block you. Tons of them. They all block you. Now let's quickly summarize everything we have covered in terms of Zebec up to this point on this channel. I want to be very clear. At this point, I have more evidence than I need to put in this video, and there are some things I have to keep out of this video in order to maintain the integrity and sovereignty of the investigation that is taking place. If you guys see a bunch of comments under this video of people who are scared in Zebec or people who are saying this is FUD, that's cap. They can say big bad in my comments because what I'm about to discuss is all fact. So let's go ahead and just reacclimate you guys on exactly what is going on with Zebec up until this point, and then we'll discuss the new information. Fact number 1. There is no liquidity locked up in Zebec. That is already a dead giveaway, but we'll just start it off easy for you guys to understand. Dead giveaway. Okay, we have LP lockers here on Radium, $7, 0 liquidity locked up here, and we have all the liquidity providers for Zebec right here. There's 3 of them. There is no liquidity locked up in Zebec. That is a fact. And just so you guys can see, all right, we'll take something with a similar market cap, okay? Around 300 million. This is Dog with Hat as well. This has a great rug score, and it's a meme coin. We can see all the liquidity. 99% of the liquidity is locked up. 3.8 million on Radium. Literally $7.6 million locked up on Radium. So where's Zebex? Because they are both built on Solana. That is fact 1. Let's go on to the next one. Here's fact number 2 that we will put into fact number 3. Some of the stupidest KOLs in the Zebec community are literally trying to argue that Zebec is not a security. What type of crack are you smoking? This must be Freebase because this is insane. He literally says 2021 was declared by a lack of clear regulatory stance with many crypto companies operating in a legal gray area regarding whether their assets were securities. The prevailing situation was a regulatory gap rather than accidental compliance. The SEC under Chair Gary Glenser generally maintain that most cryptocurrencies were securities and thus subject to federal securities laws. However, the agency primarily used enforcement action on a case-by-case basis, rather than providing explicit rules for a clear registration path of crypto firms. This is in response to this here. Literally, this random person goes, I was going to mention the clerical error, which we'll get to. As a former government employee, I know that most of these people work ethic is trash. It is extremely common, but none of these matters because ZBCN isn't a security. What? The only asset with government clarity is XRP. XRP is the only cryptocurrency asset that is not a security, and anyone else who tries to argue otherwise is actually retarded. So I got 5 on it, retarded. Jessica, who's not actually a woman, retarded. These people are KOLs and they are trying to argue so that's 1. All right. And how do I know that Zebec is not a security or is a security? Right here in the document here, it says through their British Virgin Islands LLC document, it literally says here, warranties, endorsements, or judgment on the merits of the offering or the securities offered herein. BitPay's connection to the offering is solely for the limited purposes of acting as a service provider. So these are literally securities. I mean, how many lies are you going to get called into? Let's go into fact number 4, because that's fact 2 and 3. Fact 3 is they have a fucked up LLC out of the British Virgin Islands. I'm going to show you exactly why this is messed up. In this document, it literally outlines this company proposes to create and make available the tokens for purchase, and the purchasers desire to purchase from the company such number of tokens as set out herein upon the provisions set out in this agreement. We're going to go ahead and get into the platform operator very, very soon here, but we can go ahead and take a look, guys. This is where shit gets very interesting. This was for the last ZVC project. This isn't even Zebec. This was before Zebec even existed. Because they moved on to a new scam. But we can go ahead and take a look at this purchaser wallet address, which was the purchasing address of this security, right? This is a fact. We go ahead, we can look at this wallet address. We can see 1 ETH, $86,000 in USDT, $67 in USDC, $2 in ETH, all these payments in USDT, ETH, USDT, Bitcoin, USDC, all these payments. And when you go back to this document, we can actually go ahead and look. Option 1 purchase amount, option 2 purchase amount, and option 3. You can clearly see that they have been getting paid out for this for a very long time. Now, the question I have is, why does this wallet hold $87,000? They've clearly received a lot more money than that. All right, guys, here we can see this is an official offering. Under this agreement, targeting up to $3.5 million in gross proceeds, which they dumped on you guys. Here listed under platform, this means a continuous settlement protocol known as Zebec that enables programmable movement of value over protocols block by block, as detailed further in the information materials, and which is operated through the platform operator. So in order to make this offering, they had to operate this through the quote-unquote platform operator. When we look at the platform operator, that is listed as Calki Inc. Here's fact number 4, 5, 6, whatever you want to call it. All right. We're going to go ahead and look into Calki Inc. and the messed up address and all of that stuff, but I wanted you guys to know these facts. All right, it's pretty apparent here to me that we're going to lose count of all the facts that I'm about to give you in this video. So just start making note. First thing here, we have the home address of Sam Bob Thapalai, which he does not have any record of ever owning this home. Could he have rented? Maybe, but why is the home address here listed on a corporate document that goes into the SEC? If you had a virtual office, why wouldn't you just... It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And so there's a lot of people that want to argue against this being a regular clerical error. I believe that is completely false. But that is with this address right here, 651 North Broadway Street. This address on 481 Lincoln Ave in Redwood City, California. There's no record of Samuel ever owning that home. Again, doesn't really matter. It's kind of insignificant, but it is just something to add to this. Now, when we have 651 North Broadway Street in Middletown, Delaware, we can go ahead and I'll show you guys right now. The address does not exist. It is fake. All right, and here you guys can see we're all up in Google Earth. The entire Earth and the entire history of all addresses in the entire world are on this platform, and there is no 651 North Broadway Street in Delaware. As we can see, we have Rhode Island, Maryland, and California. That's it. So when we take the way away from Broadway, we can find an address that takes you to Middletown, Delaware. This address goes to this office right here. And let's just go ahead and type in this correct address into Google and see what comes up. The address that Zebec is actually linked to is the same address linked to multiple scams, as you can see here, 651 North Broad Street, Suite 206, Middletown, Delaware. The same address and the bank account for this somehow linked to my bank account for my business Uber Eats account and has been collecting my payments. This address has hundreds of fake businesses registered to it, and they're laundering hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right, let's see. This address is connected to a scam. They tried to get my grandfather to send $35K. The Shopify store to Wall World DBA SpongeBob selling SpongeBob products is registered at this address. It's a scam store. No products are sent out. They collect your money. A person claiming to be being able to help with crowdfunding campaign gave me a bank routing number and account name and account number with this address. And unfortunately, guys, it gets a lot worse. We have another thing here. It says here, among the businesses is Extreme Studios LLC, which is a XYZ production company that tortures and exploits XYZ in its XYZ videos. Also, according to Ray Ness, a prepaid card scam. Who else has cards? Zebec. Now, before we start discussing even more facts, I want you guys to ask yourself, why would a real utility company associate themselves with an address that is linked to literal sex trafficking scams? That's a fact. Sorry. I mean, I know you Zebec guys don't want to hear that, but it's true. And so a real utility company would not associate themselves with a scam address, which is why they went to the SEC document and made a very convenient clerical error. Lock in or get locked the fuck out. Roll the clip, bro. It's game over. Lock in and it's game over.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me! Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
One more thing. We're going to go ahead and type in the, because we looked at this in one of the first Zebec videos we made, but we'll go ahead and type in this business address here, which is on the British Virgin Islands. Now, I want you guys to answer yourself and ask another question again. Do you want a utility cryptocurrency business being ran out of addresses associated with scams and a building that looks like this? This building right here, Zebec is registered out of. No joke. So you tell me why. Do you want your crypto being ran out of this building? I'm just saying. Why is Zebec ran out of this building? It's a little suspect.
A few clicks of the mouse, and $1,500 later, Jim's Caribbean Imports is born. That's it. It may be hard to believe, but this is totally legal, and so is the foreign bank account you can create online to take its deposits. From here, money can be wired to the new company's bank account in small amounts. Keep in mind that the feds flag any wire transfer over $10,000. Small deposits can fly under the radar, looking like legitimate income. The fake company can even pay tax on it, and its owner can draw clean funds from it. Of course, criminals can also go analog. To them, it's as simple as gathering a bunch of no-good friends in Las Vegas, handing them stacks of cash, and directing them to the tables. That's because, unlike betting on horse races or playing the slot machines, casinos are not required to issue tax forms for winnings at table games, regardless of the amount. A few small bets later, and the chips are cashed back in, and voila, new clean bills appear.
All right, guys, take inventory of the facts I have provided you so far. Now, with that last clip you've just watched, I believe this could be a reason that Zebec has a BVI LLC. It is extremely easy to launder money in BVI and Delaware. 100%. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these. I'm going to look at one insider wallet for you guys because it's going to take too long if I have to go through all of them. And I've done this in previous videos. We have the facts and the on-chain evidence that these people are going to online casinos and dumping on you and laundering money. On-chain evidence. So we're going to go ahead and we'll take one of the wallets and I will show you guys in real time exactly what I am talking about. But yes, it's highly likely these people behind this scam are laundering money through Zebec. Liquidity farm. It is quite literally a liquidity farm. Zebec today probably went up 20-30%. And they're trying to say that they're ISO compliant. They are not ISO compliant. They are not MICA compliant. They are not compliant. They are lying to people's faces. And when that shit runs up, people will get caught up in this. It happens every single time and every day they lie about something new. But let's go ahead and we'll take a look at an actual insider wallet from Zebec. All right, we can go ahead and find this shit from the bubble maps itself. You want to talk bubble maps? Let's look at the bubble maps to really get the idea of how centralized this is. We have to take a look at the top 100 wallets. All of these people interact with each other. All right, so this is 100% a centralized liquidity farming scam. All right, you have crypto.com with a hot wallet. They control about 8%. KuCoin, right? MEXXC. We have a few exchanges here, but all these other wallets are individuals who are finessing. All right. We'll go ahead and take this. We'll go down. We'll go down a little bit just so you guys know I'm not tweaking out here. All right. Let's take this wallet. Right. Cluster supply. These people control over 55% of the cluster amount, meaning all of these wallets have communicated with each other. Quite literally. So when you see a circle like this and all these centralized wallets, these are centralized. Here's a Jupiter wallet. All right, we can go ahead and click these Jupiter wallets because we know there's no liquidity on Jupiter. All right. Take a look here. Boom. Let's just pick one. This wallet right here. Very tiny, very small, whatever. Let's go see. And I'm guaranteeing you that they will be dumping back on a illegal, not illegal, but a very shady money laundering casino website. Guaranteed. Here we have a dump from about 10 months ago. We can see here $774,000 in ZBCN. This is not like, all right. These people made this money and then dumped it. Facts. And this is probably around the time they started dumping more Zebec. So I'm sure if we click through this, we can find more ZBCN. Here's another $5 million added in ZBCN, dumped. All right. And as you can see, these are not the only coins that these people are involved in. But as you can see, ZBCN has been dumped here multiple times. This is a fact. Now, here is where the casino comes into play. Let's go ahead and take a look at where exactly this wallet was going, right? All right, we can see a massive dump, 5,246,576, about $20,000 worth of ZBCN, another $5,000 dump, and we had another $600 dump. Now, this is an insider wallet, and I do apologize. I think I said millions in ZBCN, not millions in dollars, but this is still insider trading. This is a dump, 100%. We can go ahead and take a look exactly where this wallet went to. And it does not take but 1 second to look. FlipGG, top Solana odds, Soft.io, loot boxes, FlipGG. What else we got here? Where's the casino IO? FlipGG, right? Bybit, hot wallet, that's fine. Bitoki.dev, best trading bot.sol. All right. And if we go ahead, I'll just click on this for you guys. I want you guys to let me know. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video right now because I am risking my computer by clicking on this link. But if we click on this link, we can see, I guarantee this is a shady looking website. Oh, yeah, no, this is 100% legit and not money laundering, right? Crazy. So I want you to take that fact that there's on-chain evidence right in front of your face, take all of these wallets and assume they're all doing it. Because that is exactly what is going on with Zebec. And we're going to go ahead and get onto some of the new information. But basically what is happening here is this is a farming operation. All right. What happens is every day or every 2 days, they make some announcements that is complete bullshit to get people to buy into the project and then dump it immediately. Every time money comes into Zebec, money goes out. That is a fact. Here's all the wallets that the wallet that we just looked at connects to. Wow. Very, very interesting. So, I mean, this is literal proof right in front of your guys' faces. And we can go and change all the holders here. This is proof right in front of your guys' faces that literally some of the top 100, 200, 300 holders of Zebec are insider traders and they are dumping. And this is a liquidity farming operation. So they'll get your hopes high with fake announcements every single day, which we will get into. But they fake all their announcements every single day, fake everything. There's nothing real about this project to get liquidity to come in. Then they lock zero of the liquidity up like we have been talking about, and they dump it, which we have just shown you. So I hope you have enjoyed some of these facts so far. Let's get into the more current bullshit that they are doing.
Zach, Captain Zach just messaged me. He said, let them know that we're gonna go viral.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're
365.
spamming.
You think he's trying to
Spamming ZBCN.
Wait a minute.
Keep it going, guys. Keep it going.
Wait a minute. Who was saying 365?
Captain Zach said he can't text you.
Oh, he's listening. Send him a mic.
Yeah,
dude.
So he said he can't text you.
I am going to open it up, Captain. If you can hear me, I'm going to open you up right now. DM me, brother.
Yeah, he said.
Let me know what's going on.
I just told you guys. He said, "What's up?"
Dude, he knows something right now, I think.
No, no.
He said we're trending. That's why we're going up.
Yeah, he said we're going.
He said we're trending.
Captain Zach will never come on here and talk.
Dude, we are reversing so well here in the 4 hour.
Because Captain Zach is. No, Captain Zach's never going to come on and talk. You know why?
Why?
Because
He knows too much.
Captain Zach. Hey, Zach, just DM me, brother.
Wait, is Captain Zach
I know.
Ben?
I know what. I know. Like, I know.
Is it Simon?
Just. I'm
Is he on
sorry
the
that I
board?
had, bro. I'm sorry that I had you.
Tell us, man.
Simon
I'm
in
sorry I had
disguise.
you.
Yeah, man, what's up? Yo, oh, Captain
Sorry I
Zach's
had
in
you
here.
blocked.
Yo,
All
Zach,
right, bro.
what's
I
up,
just
buddy?
got it. All right, cool. Hang on, guys. I'll get right back with you.
You know, I wonder too, who is Captain Zach? He doesn't matter. He's insignificant, just like everybody else in the ZBCN community who don't know what they're talking about and can't face the facts. So, what is it that you guys are cooking up? What's being cooked up in the Telegram? Right? Captain Zach is just real odd, real funny, real odd, and something just to make note of here, guys. I want to let you guys know everyone in this community that you see on X, they are all connected and they all peddle this bullshit. All right? Let's discuss exactly what I think is going on here. And in that situation, in that space that you are hearing, right? This is the night before ISO goes live. ISO is now live, and we are seeing a pretty big pump in Zebec, but we are seeing a pump in Zebec because of this tweet right here, which is a lie. Here we can read major update coming soon on Zebec Network's compliance for ISO 222 implementation across our domestic and cross-border flows. How is that even possible when you guys aren't even MiCA compliant? So the community here is obviously saying, literally, this is just absolutely ridiculous. Major update coming for ISO 222. All the newbies freaking out after hearing you say ISO 222, like they actually know what it means. Automatically becomes one of the 10, 11 coins that's compliant by the ISO laws. Yeah, it's not ISO. It's not MiCA compliant. It's neither. But you guys will see the community peddle this bullshit and this lie that was clearly organized. All right. They knew about this beforehand. About to be ISO 222 compliant. Wow. About to moon. Wow. No, they aren't compliant. So this is just another lie that they are telling you and trying to sell you guys on. And I said, yeah, okay, because it's not going to happen. I can guarantee you that. Now, it's okay, bro. Don't cry, is what he said to me for responding to that. And that's fine. All I know is you're not ISO compliant, and you never will be, because it's a scam. So after today or whenever this video posts, I just want to let you guys know, I know for a fact that they won't have an announcement that's saying they're ISO compliant, because they're not ISO compliant. So that's another lie you can just stack on top of the pile, right? Let's go into my account and see exactly what I was saying to this community that made them so mad. Here is another major exaggeration and lie from the Zebec community. Zebec Network partnered with NatPay, and this happened about 2 days ago. Like I said, every single day they peddle another lie. Zebec partners with NatPay. Here we go. It says Zebec and PGP are now integrated with NatPay, the only U.S. payroll processor in the FedNow program and a full ISO 222 compliant member of NOCA or NACA. That's another lie. NatPay is not the only U.S. payroll provider in the FedNow program. 100% that is a lie. And so this dude tags me, says, how's that one taste for you? And so you know what I said? The glass house is cracking, right? Because this is a lie, all right? I go, the glass house is cracking. Someone says, don't care. Well, it seems like you care, okay? So false attestation doesn't make a project good or bad. So here are all the other payroll processors for the FedNow system. All right, we have ACI Worldwide Corp, Alacrity, BNY Mellon, Pfizer Solutions, Jack Henry, and Juniper Payments, a PSCU company. And I had, keep them coming. I'll disprove every single one of them, just like I cooked them 1v20. I have destroyed this entire community. All right. And I said, guess when you can't become compliant yourself, you have to align with compliant projects. What a joke. Also, that's a lie. NatPay is not the only payment processor in the FedNow, but keep stacking on the lies. LOL. Laughably bullshit. Zebec is straight up lying to you guys. It's a fact. All right. What I take out of this is the release of ISO 222 compliancy. Could be a reach, but okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Announcement coming soon for sure. What I take from this is more money coming in, which means more bigger buys back slowly eating up the supply, making the price rise. I want to be very clear here. This does absolutely nothing for the Zebec project. Once again, they are not rewiring the American financial system, and they are absolutely not compliant in any way, shape, or form. We haven't even gotten into the contract address. We haven't even gotten into the smart contract code, which is extremely vulnerable and terrible and should not be a utility company's code. But I wanted to comment here for medium.com. When you see all these random articles supporting these partnerships, this was written by somebody in the Zebec community. All right. Web3 writer, absolutely capped, doesn't even know what he's talking about. All right. They could have partnered with NatPay. Right. It's the fact that they lied, saying it was the only payroll provider in the FedNow system. Just another lie. And not only that, we can go ahead and take a look at the NatPay X account, and they have said absolutely nothing about Zebec. In fact, these people have been active since September of 2024. So until we hear from Ripple, XLM, Algorand, the NBA, the NHL, NatPay, the FedNow system, and all the other bullshit stack of lies that they have been feeding you guys, it's a lie. Because there's no documentation of any of these partnerships. Facts.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
All right, and to continue off of that conversation, here is another dumbass trying to prove me wrong, but instead he got proven even more wrong. So here it was basically said, speaking of surviving, I'm going with huge European bank over random YouTuber. Turns out that the consummate businessman at the highest level of finance don't share your pearls of wisdom. You better go call Frankfurt and tell them they missed something you didn't. And he said here basically, Deutsche Bank or no face crypto, 6-7. Now, I want to make it very clear here. This is another lie and exaggeration on Zebec's announcements. Straight lie. Okay? This partnership did happen between All Unity Stablecoin, which is a subsidiary of Deutsche Bank, but this is not a partnership directly with Deutsche Bank like the fucking Zebec community is saying it is. Facts. All right? Yes, 6-7. Deutsche Bank has not directly partnered with Zebec for a payroll test, but a Deutsche Bank-backed consortium named All Unity has selected Zebec as its preferred payroll partner. Again, misleading. Please do better. Euro-dominated stablecoins are the second largest market segment, but their value is very limited at about 500 million. Their share is very small at about 0.2% of the total stablecoin market. All Unity market share is a very small fraction of the overall stablecoin market with a current market capitalization of approximately 20.3 million as of November 2025. So essentially, this is what this is. Zebec is the fly, so net zero, and it's misleading again. Great. And I followed that by saying, you know what's crazy too is Zebec isn't even compliant, like at all. SOC 2 is third-party loose-leaf paperwork saying parameters for a project that do not have to be followed and don't prevent fraud. They aren't MiCA compliant and aren't ISO compliant. It's laughable at the fight that this community puts up. Anyway, you were saying, so the game started, where's the Zebec ad? And that will bring us to our next point. So I've already discussed in the last 3 days how they have lied about every single thing they have said. Let's go ahead on to the other lie, which is the NHL NBA partnerships. Here we have a direct tweet from Zebec Network themselves stating, spot our Zebec ads during tonight's Blues versus Golden Knights game. Snap a photo and post on X for a chance to win our St. Louis Blues jerseys. And then they said right after that, our Uphold X Zebec ads for tonight's game, Blue versus Golden Knights game, are being rescheduled due to a creative change. The jersey giveaway will still happen on the next game date. We'll share the new date soon. All right. I mean, the amount of cap and bullshit is astounding. All right. So these ads never happened. You will never see Zebec in a stadium. You'll never see Zebec advertised in an NBA or NHL stadium. Now, there are claims that they have been advertised in the Bundesliga. Don't care. Not America when you're an American cryptocurrency and you're a complete facade. So because you are not compliant in America, we're going to have some issues very soon. Here we have a post directly from Simon saying, St. Louis, see you on Saturday. And we have a screen grab, which this is a clear screen grab from a computer and edited, put back in after the fact. These ads never happened. And that brings to my next point, which is they are all claiming that this is some creative change, some creative difference that had to happen in order to reschedule these ads for Zebec and the NBA and NHL stadiums. That's complete bullshit. How do I know this is bullshit? Well, I trust the people that invest in real utility assets and are real people versus a bunch of bots in a fake ass community. And so when I had a comment on my last video, this not only confirmed everything I already assumed and knew, but it is a complete additional smoking gun. I don't even believe the people behind Zebec are from America, and that is a fact. I believe they're from Europe. They might be European of some sort, but the whole guise that this is like a American utility-based cryptocurrency is not true at all. It's a complete lie. And so, yeah, I got this comment basically saying, somebody's neighbor is the marketing, works in the marketing department of the Atlanta Hawks and said specifically that they have never heard of Zebec. And so when you pair this with the fact that we've never seen any Zebec ads in a stadium anywhere, and the only pictures we have seen are AI generated, well, I think this is pretty accurate. I think I can put all my eggs in this basket and say that this is a fact. You will never see a Zebec ad in a stadium of an NHL or NBA stadium, ever. Mark my words. As I had already explained in my previous video on Zebec, I feel like it goes without saying that the people highest up in these corporations, these entertainment companies, the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, they don't lack on advertisement. And I did say this before in my previous video, but it's almost discrediting the professionals at the highest level of their craft that they would need a creative change to fit in a cryptocurrency ad in a stadium. Complete bullshit. Like, people just need to use their brain and think about it for 1 second. I've never met one corporation that had to reschedule an ad. Seriously, I've never seen it happen. And we can go ahead and take a look on the screen here, but here is the entire ad placement, essentially, for this. Now, this was retweeted by Zebec and posted by Zebec. As you can see, the only name on here is Uphold. So I believe these are only Uphold ads. That's it. And everything else is a fucking lie. Because this is Uphold. This is not Zebec at all, by any shadow of a doubt. If anything, I think Uphold probably finessed Zebec straight up, saying they're going to get their ads in the NBA and it, because it's not happening. All right, Uphold is the only thing being advertised here. And I want to make something else very, very clear here, because there was another argument that was made against me when I made this point that essentially the person who made that comment and whoever this marketing person is at the Atlanta Hawks must be lying, because there was an Uphold ad on the Atlanta Hawks court last night. Now, that is an ad. Zebec was talking about a partnership, a sponsorship. There's a difference between a floor ad for a company that is not even related to Zebec, and then Zebec comes out and says that they are being sponsored, essentially. And they are having Uphold X Zebec jerseys being produced for all of these teams, which I can guarantee did not get the copyright approvals from these leagues. So I want you guys to do something on the 26th and the 28th. Try as hard as you possibly can to find a Zebec ad, because you won't be able to. If you needed another smoking gun, here's another one. We have the open source code for Zebec staking smart contract. And as you can see right down here is where we have the lockup information and exactly where everything's being sent with yields and things like that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys like I know code, but we can go ahead and throw this right into an AI directly, and they're going to tell us what's fucked up about it. And I can tell you what's fucked up about it right now. It's copy and paste scam code that is copied and pasted everywhere. You can find other projects with this scam code as well, but I just want to let you guys know that the smart contract for Zebec can be completely drained out.
To test whether code is law or whether law is law.
All right, guys, right here, I threw that exact smart contract code into an audit, and we can see here exactly what is messed up with it. So here we go. We have potential vulnerabilities in your lockup. So there's no authority checks on who is able to initialize the lockup. That can allow somebody to create fake reward vaults, fake stake tokens, fake reward tokens, duration maps that trap users, and fake fee vaults. This is the #1 real-world Solana staking exploit, and it is exactly what Zebec is doing. So do you guys think this is a legit utility company linked to multiple other scams, or what? Here we have a possibility to overwrite the existing lockup in it, and this basically will allow to reward vault redirection, total stake loss, and creator identity spoofing. All right, no validation that the reward vault belongs to the program. It never checks that there is a correct token mint, that is owned by the program, that it is a PDA, and that seeds match expected vault derivation. No validation that reward token or state token match the reward vault mint. All right. Vulnerability: malicious creator initializes a lockup with a worthless reward token, uses stake real tokens, but the rewards are fake. All right, there's a laundry list of things, guys. Missing PDA derivation checks. The lockup count is supposed to be this, but isn't enforced in this function. Attacker can supply an arbitrary account. This is the most common catastrophic anchor mistake. How are we making these mistakes when we're supposed to be a legit utility company? They're also missing constraint checks. I mean, it goes on and on and on, okay? So, summary of likely vulnerabilities: no authority checks, no PA constraints, no reward vault minute validation, no stake reward token validation, reinitialization allowed, duration params not validated, and creator not required to sign. And what can this impact? It can impact anyone that can create mutate lockups. They can literally finesse your siphon funds. All right, they can fake lockup accounts, redirect rewards, fake tokens/scams, account takeover, permalock or insta unlock, and identity spoofing. And fake token and scams is something we are absolutely looking at right now, because this is copy and paste a fucking scam. I don't even have to do this, but just to prove another point, we're going to go and look at some of the affiliates with Zebec. And this is where things get a little bit more interesting. And I want to say there is a lot of information I am withholding from this video in order to keep the integrity of the investigation. But I am 100% serious when I say I am forwarding all of my information to federal authorities. So if anyone in the Zebec community thinks I'm joking, I'm not joking. It's already in the works. Okay? There is so much more that I know that I will not include in this video. But I will include a small synopsis of one of my previous videos so you guys can understand some of the stuff that I haven't even covered, because there's just too much with Zebec. It's too much bullshit. There is a Telegram, and it does exist. And if you think I didn't weasel my way in there and finesse screenshots, you're tripping. I'm forwarding everything I have to the federal authorities.
Previously on the No Face Crypto channel.
A clear block. I brought this up to the Reddit community. Only response I get is, they were here. Here are the pictures from the inside of the place. Okay, where did those pictures come from? Because they didn't come directly from Zebec. Maybe because it would be more suspect if they released it right after the fact they released a clearly AI manipulated photo. Why the same window here? Explain to me. Why is this window open years later? Because if you used an AI, it would pull from already existing images. Why is this window still open years later? So why was my post removed? If photography was not allowed, please enlighten. Photography was not permitted during the discussions, then why is there a picture during the discussion? First button on here is donate. This is just a bullshit. This is a bunch of Karen. You can donate and they will invite you to come randomly. These pictures here, quote unquote, from a Telegram. All scams live on Telegram. Let me crash out real quick. XRP doesn't remove posts questioning XRP, because this could be a scam. Allegedly, their community is on Telegram. Before this happened, this looked amazing until they dropped a stupid picture like that. Then you get this guy, Blue Collar Crypto, who drops pictures from the Telegram right after they dropped the edited photo saying that there was no pictures allowed. I do not buy into this shit. Why is the hand position the exact same? Not only that, feet position exactly the same, tie is almost the same, everything is wrinkled the same. Bullshit. Zebec You guys have some questions to answer. ZBCN here is pretty much heavily manipulated. You can see it on the chart. This chart does not look normal when you compare it to like an XRP chart. And we'll trace it all the way back to the original MEV wallet. This bot is literally swapping transactions like every second. Back since day one, this wallet has been literally dumping ZBCN day one. All right, let's dig a little bit deeper here. It's so many transactions, tons and tons of offloading, thousands and thousands of dollars being transferred off, get washed. I mean, this is ridiculous. You can see it right here. Talk my shit now. I'm just gonna talk my shit now. If it's not an insider wallet, right? Why are we getting washed on sus websites like Casino Flip? Why? Why is it so sus? Why does every single insider wallet go to a washing, no KYC platform to wash their ZBCN? We can see fucking how heavily centralized this is. You can find this information for yourself. Cluster percentage, 66%. Holy shit. Oh, hell no. Holy shit. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Oh my God. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know how many facts we have covered, but we're over 10. We're over 10 red flags for Zebec easily. There's like 50. All right. And there's so much information that I have. But at this point, I genuinely care about saving people money and stopping this bullshit. So I am continuing this investigation. And I don't think, honestly, I don't know if I'll need another video on YouTube about Zebec. I might if it comes to the point and something comes of this. But I mean, we're beyond theories and all that shit. This is just fact. All right. This whole video has been nothing but facts. All right, first things first here, the British Virgin Islands document, the only reason that was discovered was because of Sahan Thapalaya's name, because he was the person listed on that document, not Sam. All right, Sam previously has been involved in the movement token scandal, in which people will claim that he never sold any of his tokens off. Yeah, bullshit. That's what he said, so we can't even believe that. Now, they put his wallet is on chain. You can go ahead and find it with the movement scandal, but it's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and talk about that for just a second, and then we will go ahead and go on to Simon, who is what we really want to talk about here.
Movement Labs is investigating whether it was misled into signing a market-making agreement that granted an obscure middleman control over 66 million MOVE tokens, triggering a $38 million sell-off after the token's debut. Internal contracts shown to CoinDesk reporter Sam Kessler reveal Rentec, a firm with no digital footprint, appearing on both sides of the deal, once as a Web3 port subsidiary and once as an agent of Movement Foundation.
Anybody notice how this Rentec Labs Limited was ran out of the British Virgin Islands? Very, very, very coincidental, might I say?
Raising questions about self-dealing. Foundation officials initially flagged the Rentec deal as possibly the worst agreement they had ever seen. Among the contract's more unusual provisions was a clause allowing Rentec to liquidate its MOVE tokens if the cryptocurrency's fully diluted value exceeded $5 billion, a benchmark that, if reached, would have allowed Rentec to split profits 50-50 with the foundation, creating a perverse incentive for the market maker to artificially increase the price of MOVE so that it could sell its massive supply of tokens for a profit.
And as you can see that these gentlemen operate on Telegram. Telegram screenshot reviewed by the CoinDesk also showed that Scanline commissioned Thapalaya to help curate Move's airdrop whitelist, the carefully controlled list of wallet addresses eligible to receive tokens in Movement's long-delayed community token giveaway. And of those 15,000 wallets, Sam probably controlled all of them. It was tons and tons and tons of wallets. This was easily a liquidity farm. Another scam. Among those close to the movement, scrutiny over the deal has also spurred questions about whether Sam Thapalaya, the founder of crypto protocol Zebec and an advisor to Manchi and Scanlon, may have played a behind-the-scenes role. Thapalaya was CC'd alongside Rentec and Manchi in an email from Web3 port to Movement team and other communications regarding the market-making arrangement reviewed by CoinDesk. So he had knowledge of this. This is bullshit if he says he wasn't involved and didn't dump any of this shit. Bullshit. My understanding is that Sam is a close advisor to Rushi and perhaps sort of a shadow third co-founder, said one employee. Rushi kept the relationship pretty hidden. We often just heard his name. Seems very, very similar to how Sam is now removed from Zebec and we don't really hear about him too often. Now Simon is the CEO and he's just kind of in the shadows. Fucking scammed. Now we get off to about the end of the video here, and we're going to talk about the current CEO, Simon Babakani. Because Sam is nowhere to be found. I wonder where he's at. So we have Simon Babakani right here. Here's the picture that is used for a lot of his social media, right? And here is a picture of his LinkedIn. Hold on one second here. Here's a picture of his LinkedIn. HCM, payroll investments, payroll growth partners. And as we can see here, guys, he is not, Zebec is not listed as anything on his experience. Now, PGP is allegedly the funding arm for Zebec, but if Zebec is literally your biggest accomplishment, and you are on the #1 most used business social media in the entire world, I probably would list Zebec on my LinkedIn profile. Would you not? So it's very, very, very odd here that they are kind of half disconnected from Zebec and claiming this as a investment arm, PGP, which it may, very well may be. But it is not good that he is not listing Zebec as any experience on his LinkedIn. Very suspect. You should be very proud of a real legit utility company, unless that utility company isn't legit. Here we have the website for payroll growth partners, investing in the payroll companies of the future. We invest in leading founder-owned payroll companies across diverse industries and verticals. Does this not look like the simplest, most bare bones bullshit website ever? All right. Technology partners we can see here is Zebec, banking partner with JP Morgan, Paybridge, and WageLink. Very funny. So let's just take the biggest banking partner here and just double check that JP Morgan, that this is actually accurate. And also with that being said, before we even do that, because this is clearly not a good website. This is clearly not a good website. We can click on the investor login. I mean, this is it. This is your website. Okay. This makes a lot of sense, right? Little to no information on this website. And just keeps getting worse, guys. It keeps getting worse. As we can see, it takes 2 seconds to ask a question. No, JP Morgan is not a banking partner with payroll growth partners. And we know this is the legit payroll growth partners, guys. It is a banking partner with Gusso, a different payroll company. JP Morgan's partnership with Gusso provides embedded payroll services to its small and medium-sized business clients. So that's another lie. I mean, how much do you guys need to see to know that this is a fucking fraud? This is legit fraud, all right? The bad address on the SEC document is actual fraud. That's actual fraud. So already PGP is questionable. We can go ahead and look into that a little bit deeper, but I'm guaranteeing that's just another bullshit company that whoever's behind Zebec runs to perpetuate the narrative. Another very suspect thing here, we have an address of just New York. They do not have a location for this company. Maybe that's because the only location for Zebec is a scam office in Delaware, but that's neither here nor there. With that being said, this is I believe, a legit investment arm. However, there are multiple lies on the actual website, and there are a lot of shady things with this company as well. So this is not a legit arm when they say they're banking partners with JP Morgan, and they're actually not. So just clear that up real quick. Before you guys go ahead and say I am fudding and I'm spreading FUD and this and that, I am laying out my reasoning and my facts. And if you don't agree with those, that's fine. Go ahead and disagree in the comments. But I can verify, just so you guys know that I'm not literally outright fudding this. I can verify that PGP did acquire, allegedly, Paybridge and school payroll services. School payroll services, is that a legit company? I don't really know. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not really too sure about that one. Paybridge, I can say I believe that's a legit acquisition. Now, Where did they get this money from? Could it have been from dumping Zebec? Probably. You know how they say that Ripple does this stuff? Ripple doesn't do this. So I think that could be probably a reasoning here for how they could afford acquiring these companies, or because they may have been backed by Circle as well. That is another thing. But being backed by Circle means basically nothing, because FTX and Circle used to work very closely in relation with each other. That is about all I have to say. I want to close out this video with at least saying that, and at least giving some credit where it's due. There's no FUD I can really give to PayBridge, if you want to call it FUD, right? It's just we don't know the validity of the school payroll services. Okay? We can take a look, but we don't know the validity. So something already weird with school payroll services that does not make sense. We can see here listed in the document that we just saw, 2625 North Green Valley Parkway, Suite 215, Henderson, Nevada, is the address listed for school payroll services. But when we look at any company named School Payroll Services out of Nevada, the only one comes up to 1378 Paseo Verde Parkway, which is, it looks like, I mean, I guess this could be offices for something. I don't see anything that says that this company is here, and so that's already a little bit weird. But if we want to just go back for a second, okay, if we just take away the company name and put in the address provided by the company, it comes to an office building, which seems a little bit more regular. These are inconsistencies, guys, and they're not good. It's not good to have these inconsistencies. Additionally, while payroll growth partners or whatever, sorry, not wrong one. While school payroll services, it's private equity backed, which if you guys don't know, now you know. Private equity scams the living shit out of crypto. All right, these people are the people behind a lot of these meme coins, a lot of these rug pulls, and honestly, there could be some private equity behind Zebec doing a utility scam. I don't know. I don't think it's very likely, but there was definitely private equity involved early on in terms of offerings. Now, that's just an inconsistency that I find very, very, very weird. And this is another virtual office location, by the way, which if you are acquiring established businesses and you are an established business yourself, like there should be no virtual office shit. And I know you're trying to say people want to argue that it's here to save money. I mean, yeah, I guess, but let's not forget the first virtual office we looked at was connected to multiple scams. Now, luckily for these people, this is an inconsistent location for this school payroll company. So it's not going to be very easy for me to find any scams or anything linked to this. And I do not know if there is. I don't even think there is. But to be quite honest, I'm not too sure on the validity of this company alone. Right. If you're running a school payroll services company, I mean, I'm assuming that's pretty like government involved, right? Like, wouldn't you want to have like a real location? I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely incorrect. But let's go on to my final point. Another weird thing. Like this last point doesn't really mean too much, but it's just weird. And another thing that is weird that I found, I'm going to show you guys right now. All right, guys. Now this is where things get a little weird, if I may say. So we can go to Simon's Media, his direct X page here, and we'll go ahead down to this Cadillac right here. April 6th, 2022, Zebec has arrived in Miami, allegedly for Bitcoin Miami. I don't know about that, and this is just really kind of like you're doing too much. This is what your utility company is spending money on. This is meme coin activity. Like quite literally, this is meme coin activity. But anyway, if we type in Simon's full name into Google, we are brought to these pages right here. Here we can see at a mansion, October 23rd, 2023, Zebec was in Miami, Florida, October 23rd, 2023. Now, I don't know, maybe they went there the year before. Now they're here the year again. I don't know. But what is Simon doing at a Barron's Day Rothschild champagne party? All right. This is a little ridiculous, guys. I'm just saying. All right, and here's the last point where things get kind of goofy, but it's just kind of weird, guys. So we already discussed this, which is already weird, and we can look here. This is a picture that is usually used for Simon, stuff like this. This is what he allegedly looks like. But we go here, we click here, and apparently this is a picture for Simon Babakani on Rocket Reach, which when bringing this up to the Zebec community, apparently I'm just really retarded and Rocket Reach uses AI to source their images, which they do. But I find it very odd considering all the very weird, peculiar circumstances and red flags that dude's picture just isn't his picture, his picture is literally everywhere. How could this AI not get the correct picture for Simon Babakani, which is a name that is so uncommon it's not even funny? So I don't believe this dude is Simon Babakani. I believe, I don't know what's going on, but this is not the person Simon Babakani, Payroll Growth Partners, is supposed to be. Now, when Simon Babakani actually speaks, well, he's very English. Does anyone know, does this gentleman look English to you? Does he look American to you? He has no accent whatsoever. Zero. Nada. So, there's plenty of different things that we can go on and on here.
Really, HR tools isn't an added benefit. Let's say McDonald's had this, but Burger King didn't. Would you rather go work at McDonald's or Burger King, right? And then it's the same idea with the earned wage access industry, which has done really, really well actually in the fast food sector. And it's part of the market that Zebec is actually actively disrupting.
Right, because Zebec just actively disrupts everything. It seems like they just have a footprint everywhere. They're magically such a big utility company that they're linked to multiple scams. Now, look, I could be completely wrong here, but I find it highly, highly, highly unlikely the AI would choose an incorrect photo here. And so I kind of believe that the Simon Babakani that we all know, allegedly, this guy, is not actually, his name is not Simon Babakani. And it's also telling when Zebec's website and Zebec's profile and his ex, they didn't list Simon's full name for a very long time. I wonder why. All right, guys, just to close this video out, Simon Babakani, that is the person next to Sam Tapalai, they are both professional con artists. They both make bold claims and about the potential of their projects, such as guaranteed returns. They keep investors' money and put it right in their pockets. Be aware, they are thinking of changing the name of the company so it looks like whole new company / coin. And this is when they were ZBC. All right. They rug pulled, they do some dilution, whatever the heck they did, and then they made ZBCN. Guys, this is a scam. Facts. All right. You have multiple comments from years ago speaking about how Zebec and it's a scam. And this guy's literally calling it out before it even happened. They are changing the name of the company so it looks like the whole new company / coin. And that was ZBCN. So don't let these people fool you and try and say that Zebec's not a scam in the comments, all this shit. They literally have history of being a scam. The previous owners both had histories of previous scams. We don't even know who the real Simon is. Okay? That being said, I'm going to close out this video with the bots, because that is a whole other topic with Zebec. They are highly botted on X, and they have not gained followers in a very, very long time for being such a popular utility currency. Here we go. It states here, they sell ZBC and buy fake nodes. Voting rate from a DAO is always over at 99, less than 99%. They use their own tokens to vote. Their social channels, Telegram, CoinMarkets, Twitter are almost all bots. They even impersonate users to chat on Telegram. Hoo-hoo, that is something that I know about, but will not be putting in this video. There is so much information that I know that I wish the Zebec community knew what I knew. Well, because there's all these red flags, because there's all this unanswered questions, and this is almost guaranteed a scam, yes, I am forwarding this information to who needs it most. So if this is a scam and these people are scammers, you will be discovered. You will be found out. I do have information on all of you guys. I just want to let you know. All right. I know some of the people behind these X accounts as well. You might think that you don't know me. They might think that I'm just some random guy, right? I know some things. And that's all I'll say. All right. If you need any proof that Zebec network is followed by a bunch of bots, well, they've been stuck at 275,000 followers for as long as I can possibly remember. If we go over and look at a lot of their updates, we'll find one. Hold on. Here we can see 22.5 million bi-weekly, 45 million monthly, 235 enterprise cons, and 12,000 employees served. And if we go ahead and find another one, we'll literally see the numbers are exactly the fucking same. Basically exactly the fucking same. Hold on, let's find another one. Basically exactly the fucking same. So, these are fake numbers. I don't even believe it. All right? I don't even believe it. But let's go ahead and we'll just look like ISO's a big announcement, but let's go back just to see all the bots. Sports. Here's a perfect AI ad. Another one of the fake AI ads and just perpetuating the bullshit that Zebec has done. And so if we go ahead and look at their comments here, most of these people commenting are bots, KOLs, or know of the scam and are perpetuating it. Angelica, she knows. Okay? Ghost, he's a real dude. He also knows the shit's a scam. This guy also knows the shit's a scam. This guy also knows the shit's a scam. Let's go. I don't know about that. Bot. Let's see here. Bot. Let's see. Bot. And so they just go on and on and on and on and on, guys. And you know they're bots because after their name, they're going to have a long list of numbers for no reason at all. Guys, with all that evidence put in front of you, I do not want to make this video any longer than it already is. I believe I have given you all the facts you guys need to see. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys tap in, drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you are of the Zebec community, straight up get on your knees and take this shit because you a bitch. Like y'all, I went 1v30 versus the entire squad and cooked every single one. I have many spaces recorded and I will not be including those in this video because I don't even want to give them the light of day. They are all retarded. I promise you guys. You're not missing out on much. But if that is something you guys want to see, if you guys want to see how stupid these people are in these spaces, please let me know. And I will go ahead and show you guys some footage of that. But I have too much footage to put in this video because I just had to list out all the facts of Zebec real quick. Sorry it took so long. It's just they lie a lot. So with that being said, I'm finna get out of here for the video. You feel me? Yours truly and Zebec. I will continue to live in that community's head rent-free for a very long time. Guys, keep in mind, they went up 30% today off of a fake announcement of ISO 222 compliance. And if you don't believe me, I'll go ahead and just pull it up for you guys right now. Literally said, major update coming soon on Zebec Network's compliance for ISO 222 implementation across our domestic and cross-border flows. Right? Oh my God, guys, we're going to go ISO compliant. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You'll never get an announcement and you guys will never be ISO compliant. So when you guys finally get that fact, let me know and we can finally maybe have a real conversation in the Zebec community. And I can show you guys a lot more information proving this is a scam if you want. With that being said, I'm going ahead and forward the rest of this investigation onto the authorities that need to see it most because I believe in what I believe. And when you have a hunch and you want to save people a ton of money, I'm not going to just let this go on forever. So we're going to find out if this shit is really a scam or not, one way or another. And I'm sorry I have to be the one to do that, but I'm finna be the one. You feel me?
Hey. I emerge from the algorithmic abyss. I'm masking, electing a miss. No face crypto with a lexicon that cuts like sight stain in a clenched fist. Zebec in this narrative is the archetype of the sea, a parable of chaos where the floor drops beneath your feet. Their legions swarm like locusts, 20 deep in my mentions, trying to gaslight the ledger with counterfeit intentions. But I count it with precision, linguistic demolition, every fallacy dismantled with forensic premonition. I 1 versus 20 in the digital coliseum. I stand immutable, unbreakable. You can see it in my theorem. When the fraudulent vibrations try to colonize a chain, I articulate the antidote and purge it from the domain. I examined every claim with the scholar's calm incision, dissecting contradictions with semantic supervision. Their rhetoric fragmented like corrupted shard arrays, a house of fragile logic that collapsed in a blaze. Zebec in this fiction symbolizes the schemes that infiltrate ecosystems with sedated dreams. But I wield vocabulary like a serrated neural blade, separating truth from myth in a world engineered to fade. Oh my! 1 versus 20 in the digital coliseum. I stand immutable, unbreakable. You can see it in my theorem. When the fraudulent vibrations try to colonize the chain, I articulate the antidote and purge it from the domain. Their discordant accusations trembled under scrutiny. I turn their chaos into clarity for the community. Epistemic dominance, I never bow to noise. I navigate the turbulence with equilibrium and poise. So when the swarm descends with distortion and doubt, no, I parse every signal till the truth bleeds out. No fake crypto isn't merely a moniker on display. It's an ethos carved in stone in the blockchain freight. Send 20 more phantoms, I remain taciturn and steady. My vocabulary heavy like a quantum forge ready. This is garage rap alchemy, intellect fused with grit. I guard the next generation so they never fall for it. 1 versus 20 in the digital coliseum. Immutable mind, yeah, I rise and exceed them. In the sagas of Zebec, only fiction in my rhyme, a cipher for corruption that I crush every time I every time I
Why are you guys all silent? Something's not right. I know it's not right, okay? We don't know, but we know. You know? We don't know, but we know. And soon, we're gonna know.
No face, no fucking case.